Today is the day. MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor will be teaching other companies how to buy Bitcoin. And it looks like February is going to be an explosive month for Bitcoin. Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. MicroStrategy has been buying a massive amount of Bitcoin, and that's actually an understatement. It all started back in August of 2020. MicroStrategy announced that they bought $250 million worth of Bitcoin, and people thought they were crazy. But they have continued to buy more and more and more and more Bitcoin. And in 2020, they purchased about 70,000 Bitcoin at a cost price of $1.12 billion. And this was just 2020. Now we're in 2021 and they have even more Bitcoin. Now they own 71,000 Bitcoin and people are following suit. Since MicroStrategy started buying Bitcoin, we have these other publicly traded companies buying Bitcoin as well, and also private companies. And you might be wondering, why are they doing this? Well, they didn't do this as a speculative investment. They did this as a way to protect their money. You see, these companies, they have cash on their balance sheet. But people like MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor said, we don't want to hold cash. This thing loses value. We need to make sure to protect ourselves and buy something that is a store of value. So MicroStrategy decided to put all this money into Bitcoin, and they have no plans of stopping. And now that all these other people are following suit and they want to get in on the game, they want advice from MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy is going to be holding a Bitcoin conference today, February 3rd, and February 4th on how to buy Bitcoin. And as Michael Saylor tweeted, I have never seen so many CEOs sign up to attend one of our events. So who's going to be at this event? There are going to be very notable people from places like Greyscale, Stone Ridge Asset Management, Coinbase, Fidelity, Kraken, Gemini, and the list goes on. Michael Saylor stated, we're going to have thousands of executives, officers, directors, and advisors of corporations coming together in the first week of February. They all want to figure out how to plug Bitcoin into their balance sheet or their P&L. So the reason they're doing this is because buying Bitcoin in large volumes is not easy. Institutions have to worry about, number one, getting their orders actually executed, and number two, custody. How are they going to store the Bitcoin? So this is why this conference is happening. One of the biggest problems that institutions face when they're buying large amounts of Bitcoin, or really anything really, is slippage. When you go ahead and you set an order to buy something, it's going to be such a large order that by the time it gets filled, it doesn't get filled at the price you want. When they go on the exchange and set the order, it's going to be hard for it actually to get filled. As we've been following this year, there is not enough liquidity when it comes to Bitcoin. People are taking their Bitcoin off the exchange. So even if someone were to go ahead and buy 200 Bitcoin or 300 Bitcoin on an exchange, it might not even get filled. But even if it does get filled, as it's getting filled partially here and then a little here and a little here, the price will start going up. And now this institution will be paying an extremely high price for the Bitcoin. So there are ways to get around this by doing a over-the-counter buy. Over-the-counter means that you are buying it pretty much not on an exchange. You're doing it behind the scenes. And back in 2014, Tim Draper, he won an auction to buy Bitcoin that was auctioned off by the US Marshals. And this was Bitcoin that was seized from Roth and the Silk Road. So how much did Draper pay for these Bitcoin? Well, Draper refused to reveal how much he paid for the Bitcoin, valued at about $17 million at the time, the day of the auction, stating only the obvious, that he paid more than the other people in the auction. And when people read stories like this, they say, why would he pay more? Why would he pay a premium? He can just go on Coinbase or Gemini like we do and buy Bitcoin. But it's not the same. We can go on and buy half a Bitcoin, $200 worth of Bitcoin, no problem. But when you want to buy these large amounts, the order will not get filled at the price that you want. So Draper decided to pay more, a premium, because in the end of the day, he is still getting a better price than if he were to go on a regular exchange. And there are many services today that help with this. There are over-the-counter brokerages. And then you have traditional companies such as Coinbase and Bitstamp that work very closely with these institutions to ensure that their orders actually get executed and that they are not paying these crazy, insane prices. But this is only the first part of the journey. Once an institution figures out how to buy Bitcoin at a good price, now they need to worry about the security. The way these institutions secure their Bitcoin is not the same way that we do, the little guys. They use dedicated services such as BitGo, Ledger Vault, Coinbase custody, Gemini custody, and the list goes on. So this meeting is happening today, February 3rd, and tomorrow, February 4th. And the question that we really want the answer to is, when will the price of Bitcoin explode? Well, as mentioned in this video, these companies are going to be trying to buy Bitcoin at the cheapest price possible for as long as they can. Remember, they're doing this over the counter. They're buying in small amounts. They do not want the market to wake up and have this price increase. They want to keep it low. So are we going to see an immediate price reaction to this conference? It's possible, but I don't think that that is going to happen. I think it might take some time. Maybe we'll see it in a couple of weeks from now. Possibly we may not even see it in February. Again, I don't have the crystal ball. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen next week. I don't know. But I do think that myself, it will happen eventually. And that's all I care about. I don't care if the price explosion happens tomorrow, next week, in a month. Actually, I don't even care if this price explosion doesn't happen for a full year, because I am in Bitcoin for the long run. Stack sats, buy the dip, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.